All right, guys, we're going to be doing El Capitan, in number 54 on the Traditions of Excellence today. There's a lot of tricky things in here, so we're going to need to really pay attention. So if you have your book and you can turn it, I think it's going to be backwards for you, but for El Capitan, but that's the one that we're looking at here, okay? And it starts off right off the bat with something that's a little bit challenging if we don't pay attention to the first two measures. The first two measures are not quarter notes. The first two measures are 3/8 notes with eighth rests, and then a quarter note. And that quarter note, if you notice, has a little line under it. And that little line, if you look at the top of your page, under terms and symbols, it says that it is a tenuto marking. And the tenuto marking means we're going to sustain it out for its full value. And what makes it challenging is that the eighth notes are kind of short. They're half of a quarter note, but then we want to make sure that the quarter note itself is really long. So if we're not careful, I'll play it correctly, and then I'll play it incorrectly. If we're not careful, what we'll do is we'll do this. So we'll play that quarter note just like we did the eighth notes, and we want to make sure that that's not the case. Now right there after the quarter note, that's a reverse repeat sign, so we need to make sure we're watching for that because we're going to need it here in a little bit. As we go along, notice that the eighth rests in measure 6, sorry. The eighth rest in measure 6, it is on that downbeat, so make sure that you rest right there on 1, and then we come back in on the end of 1. So where I slap my hand, that's beat 1. We need to make sure that that rest is there, and that happens multiple times during this piece. So we must be very, very careful. On the second, going to the second line, we're at forte now. We've gone up our dynamic level from mezzo forte, which is normal playing, to just a little bit louder out of forte. The half note there in measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is for me, it's a G sharp. For you, it might be an F sharp. And we need to look at that. It has an accent at the beginning. So as we remember, accents are big at the beginning and normal at the end. That's it. Okay? So let me give you an example of, I'm going to start at the forte at the end of the first line. Okay, I'm going to play the entire thing through. So there you go. Okay. One thing I want you to try to do on this El Capitan when you play it for me, I want to make sure that you are only breathing at the rests. I don't want you to be breathing after every half note. I know that's a bad habit we get into, but make sure that you're only breathing at the rests every time, just like I did. Notice that I did the accent. I just played the beginning of the accent and then backed off and then just kept right on going. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Make sure we're taking nice deep breaths. Okay, and if you have any questions, guys, you can email me at any time, and I'll try to, if you don't know how to play it, play what you can, and then send it to me, and I'll see if I can help you out. All right, thanks. See you guys later.